I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. And I sure do love my job. Yeah. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I'm born to preach the gospel. I sure do love my job. Yeah. Yes, I really love my job. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Oh, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Yes, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Get firmly rooted. So let's get firmly rooted. Let's get firmly rooted. So let's get firmly rooted. Oh, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Let's get firmly rooted. Firmly rooted. Let's get firmly rooted. Yeshua, 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 Yeshua. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. We're disciples that make disciples that make disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. Let's keep firmly rooted. Firmly rooted.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Pastor Tom Donnelly, Firmly Rooted Ministries, and we're digging into Matthew chapter 5, the Beatitudes, the Sermon on the Mount. I got to tell you, I intimidated myself, and there's no way I'm going to get through this in one devotion. So this is going through Matthew again with everything that I've learned about the two kingdoms. Things are just blowing up in my head about what's going on right now. And so I'm trying to absorb all that at the same time, and it's pretty crazy. Let's see who's on board. Cindy Siebert, good morning. Else Ruth down at in Haiti, good morning, love you. Vivian Davis, she's got a little lemon there. Somebody, Vivian, left me some, Pastor Tom got some lemon bars to have as a snack today. Steve Ponoworski, good morning. Nikki Chason, let's see, sunshine, coffee, flowers, and golf course. I imagine they're with their daughter at a golf tournament. Jackie Matus, good morning. Bert Reggiani, good morning. Beautiful morning for a golf tournament. There it is. Okay, let's go. So we ended chapter 4 with a picture of what the Christian life and the Christian church is about. Jesus was baptized, we get baptized. Jesus is filled with the Spirit, we're filled with the Spirit. Jesus begins to go out and live this new life in the power of the Spirit, we do too. It has an effect on other people. They follow Jesus, people might follow us. and eventually find their way to church. And then in church, as people get to know God, there's healings and casting out of demons, and all of these things that we wished and hoped could happen are all of a sudden happening in God's kingdom. And so people are dragging people to Jesus to be. I mean, do you realize in the 20th and 21st century in America, it's like we got to beg people to go to church? Church should be something that people are plowing into because God's doing things, and dragging people there because there might be healings, because there might be reconciliation, because there might be redemption. And so, chapter 5, the Beatitudes. The longest sermon of Jesus, he sits on a mountainside and begins to teach his disciples. Matthew is a Jew writing to Jews. So what I want you to see is a parallel. In the Old Testament, God met Moses on a mountaintop, and then Moses went down the mountain and he talked to the people. Jesus is the very Word of God become flesh, sitting on a mountaintop, talking to his disciples, and they will in turn talk to the new Israel, us. Matthew is trying to show this transition. That's not a startling new thing. It is a completing thing. Just as God in the Old Testament met with Moses and Moses brought the law to his people, Jesus is talking to his disciples, bringing the message of redemption and reconciliation to the kingdom of this world. That God's kingdom is now at hand, and God's kingdom brings new things. And so the very first thing he says is blessed. Blessed. Very interesting. When most of us think about blessings, we think about earthly stuff. God blessed me. He got me a job. He got me a wife. He kept my kids healthy. God did this. Almost always our focus is on the physical stuff. And it's not wrong, it's just incomplete. Because when God touches this earth, we do get blessed in the kingdom of this world. But Jesus says, don't store up your treasures here, store them up in heaven. So the very verse that Firmly Rooted is based on, in Psalm 1, blessed is the person who meditates upon the word of the Lord. He is like a tree that's firmly rooted by streams of water. It yields its fruit in season. Its leaves never wither. And whatever he does, he prospers. Which kingdom is David talking about? Both. It would be so incomplete if it was just this world, because this world's ending and the blessings in this world eventually fade. I mean, God might heal me, but I'm eventually going to die. You see what I mean? So yes, he does bless us in this kingdom, but we ought to be measuring the blessings in his kingdom. And so we have Jesus beginning to say, blessed, blessed. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who mourn. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. It's so similar in cadence to the Ten Commandments, but different. The Ten Commandments are telling us how to live as God's people. Jesus is telling us how to live as his redeemed people. Blessed. I think it was one of the translations, not even a translation, it's a paraphrases of the New Testament where it says, happy. Happy are. I can't stand it. No, blessed. Blessed. Every good gift comes from above. The God of the universe comes down and blesses, never just temporally, physically and spiritually. And the very first one, poor in spirit. That doesn't sound happy, but we'll get to that tomorrow. The one thing I want you to leave today is, what if? What if Matthew is purposefully creating a picture of Jesus speaking to his disciples, teaching them, and in turn, they're going to teach the people that they reach, and 2,000 years later, the Sermon on the Mount is about us living in his kingdom. He's giving us a greater picture than Moses ever had as to how we should live, navigate, think, and see in his kingdom. So we're going to go through this slowly because I'm too intimidated to go through it quick. And tomorrow we'll start to dig through those Beatitudes. But I just needed to set the framework. I just needed to set the perspective that I want you to have before we roll in. Does this make sense? I hope it does. I hope it does. But we'll talk about that more tomorrow. But I want you to read Matthew 5, and I want you to read Matthew 5 verses 1 through 12 in preparation for tomorrow, and tell other people to get on this devotion, because I believe that going through the Sermon on the Mount the way that we're going to is going to be a way in which you've never gone through it before. It's a way that maybe I've never gone through it before. And so let's do it together. Let's do it together. Let's get as many people as we can involved in this, because I think the firmly rooted folk really need to see. This is going to bring some real deep meaning to our two kingdom perspective. All right, I'll end there, or else I'm going to get preaching. All right, blessings on your day. Make it a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.